Good evening, everyone. Okay, sorry about all these technical difficulties delaying the race a good bit here, but Dark Red has done a good job of working this stuff out, and we should be ready to go any moment now. So it looks like this is going to be match two of Oh Dear versus Ddraig. Let's see, on the challenge page, it looks like Oh Dear is down one win so far. So if Oh Dear can pull out a win here, we're going to get to see game three. And of course, who doesn't want to see a game three? If Ddraig pulls out a win again today, then he advances to round three, where he'll face either Benergetic or myself. Right now, Benergetic is leading by one win, but I hope I can pull that back tomorrow and bring it to a game three. So Dark Red has got all of the technical issues worked out. He'll be restreaming this for us today. We've got the wonderful Smokey on tracking. And then, of course, myself, Starisms for comps. So in SRL, they are off. It should just be a moment here. Okay, now I know Smokey's answer to this, but anyone else in chat, when you play these seeds, what's the first non-morph item you hope to find? I know Darkred's gonna say ice. We'll find out momentarily. Darkred making his call has expected ice, but also adding high jump and power bombs. That's a pretty good combination. Like Smokey, I also like to find Wave Beam early, so that's usually not one of the first few non-morph items that we see in Old Bryn or Criteria before they go down to the Green Bryn Star. But you can always hope. And we have Space Jump at the pedestal. That will definitely be useful. A lot of people prefer that for their first movement item. It means if when Gauntlet comes into Logic, they won't have to worry about it being infinite bomb jumps. Throwback to my race where I spent a good 20 minutes trying to do that. Both of these masterfully getting the deboost to get the Morph Ball in the ceiling, even though they didn't need to deboost. Super Missiles is the first ammo, so if we don't get any power bombs at the Alpha Missiles location, there will be no meme route. There will be no early Billy Mays checks. And it's an E-Tank, so no meme route. Sorry, Dark Red. Hmm. Also, since these runners did not get high jump, if they do wall jump climbs, that won't be messing up. Anytime I get the high jump boots early on, I'm always tempted just to turn them off right away because going up the climb, going up parlor with high jump really throws me off, and especially if you go check BT, doing Alcatraz with those high jump boots on is a little bit more difficult. So Dark Grid's still holding out hope for a meme route, but BT is definitely holding the progression right now. That's the only thing in logic to get another set of ammo, and it's going to be bombs or power bombs. But Dark Grid, I think you're going to be disappointed because if you get them here, it's going to be better item density wise to go ahead and go left. So you can check the back end of Gauntlet, you can get Terminator, you can go down to Green Brinstar, and work your way around that way. And what does BT hold today? Power bombs, no BT fights. We don't get to see that very often in the randos, but I believe there has been one or two matches so far that have had BT hold bombs. Looks like Oh Dear is not going to risk the. Oh no, he's going out to the right side, so no need for power bombs or Alcatraz rather. Sorry, there's no need for him to do an Alcatraz just yet. Looks like he's going to check the volcano, or is he going to go right and check the moat and upper red tower? Looks like he's going right. And I missed what was at the 230 missiles location. But based on the tracker, I'm guessing it was just ammo. Oh, okay. Yeah, it had to be missiles, because Ddraig has regular missiles now. Getting an ocean check from Oh Dear. Very astute at the Terminator location. That is a big find for Ddraig, and might give him an advantage here. You know, Oh Dear will no doubt find that very astute with where it's at. It's just a matter of when. Moat, just vanilla missiles there. How plain. It doesn't look like Ddraig checked the back of Gauntlet. So might wish he had done that later. He is going to check the other super locations and the Ron Popeil location. Wow, the Brinstar, yeah, the Brinstar Reserve and Ron Popeil holding some beams. These runners won't be picking up, 60, 70 supers most likely. Space jump trolling Oh Dear a little bit here. The timing on that can be very picky, and if you mess it up once, you're not allowed to retry. So and the early supers is an E-tank. This location was really holding though. Now I believe the logic requires Speed Booster to get back into the Ron Popeil location and the reserve location, so I don't think that's really, holding any progression back though. Charge and Plasma aren't really used for any logic checks. The Edacune Super location, another vanilla location this seed. With the amount of items we have, there's always going to be something vanilla. Space Jump, making the D-Boost training hall super easy. And Oh Dear is going for a gauntlet check. More supers hiding at the Edacune Power Bomb location. Ddraig getting that nice little mock ball going down at the location. Gauntlet E-Tank location holding Regular missiles, depending on what's in the back, this might end up being a bad play for O'Dear. Hopefully he remembers when he goes down that he does not have the Terminator item yet. Ddraig making his way into Big Pink. We'll get to see several item locations here. A lot of density. Picking up even more supers. And the Gauntlet Miner locations, I believe that's Spazer. I expect he'll pick it up and then immediately, here in a moment, go down and find Plasma. So far it looks like just ammo and Big Pink. Yes, O'Dear is remembering to check Terminator, and he is going to be very happy to see that and probably feel like he should have checked this sooner. I know I would feel that way. Ddraig's going to check Mission Impossible here. Known by that name because of the way the room is set up. If you get a fast fall through that crumble block there, you can still collect that item, and maybe if you're quick and jump accurately enough, back up before that crumble block reappears. Just like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible hanging from the ceiling. O'Dear is going to find his charge and plasma beam in here. I'm sure he's going to be glad for that. Smokey calling the Mission Impossible trick next to impossible. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people pull it off, and it really all depends on the quick fall. But it is a very tough trick to pull off. Getting a Spore Spawn check through the back door. Getting that super block that blocks the Spore Spawn backdoor room is something that I've seen done 5 or 6 different ways. And get your Peepo SBs out because Ddraig has validated his run with Spring Ball. O'Dear's just a little bit behind here at this point because of making a few other checks earlier. And just a few rooms behind Ddraig, making the same plays, the same checks so far. Can't say I blame him. Ddraig getting that gate glitch first try, it looked like. Nice. Good job. Smokey keeping count of the E-tanks we've found so far. I always appreciate that because it helps you know how many are left to find. Ddraig going into the Green Hills and is not going to check what looks like he's not going to check the left of Morph or Billy Mays or Old Mother Brain. I would have at least checked the left of Morph item. Oh, no power bombs. Maybe that's why. Definitely need some power bombs to check those locations. Go into X-ray to farm up power bombs. Pretty sure that's the plan here. And oh dear, about to make his way into Big Pink. And he'll find a lot of ammo. And an X-ray item check reveals Wave Beam. This is turning out to be a very good beam seed. As Smokey would say, that means that Ddraig has Smokey validated his run. Wave Beam is one of my favorite items to find, so I'm also glad to see that. Sometimes in the other item randos, I've always called the Wave Beam the Ohio Beam. Use the little emote, it's fun. Looks like the next item check on the list is going to be Spazer. I'm a big fan of going to wreck ship early in randomizers, but this logic is making me question that for the SMRAT, for the rat races. Looks like Spazer is just holding some supers. We found a lot of majors already so far, specifically beams, so I'm sure these runners are very happy with the items they've gotten so far. So, depending on what their comfort level is, as soon as they find gravity, they might just, well, gravity and then after gravity, speed or ice. After those items, they just might be in go mode. Ddraig working his way into the warehouse, going to go see Kraid, while oh dear validates his rung with Spring Ball. Screw attack at the Kraid missile location. That's pretty nice. Definitely wouldn't turn that item down. Oh dear, setting up for the wave gate. Looks like he got it first try. Awesome, good job. Let's see. Will Kraid get to dance today? Obsolete in the crowd wishing that they could get seeds like this for the races, and let me tell you, we all agree. The seed is a little light on the power bombs, but heavy on the progression and the beams. Kraid! Oh, just holding a pack of missiles, Ddraig did not want to see that. Well, having Varia, I would, if I'm already down here, I would go ahead and clear out what I could of Upper Norfair. I wonder if Ddraig will do the same play. Meanwhile, oh dear is going to check X-ray and hopefully farm some power bombs at the same time. And the Frog Pocket also holding regular missiles, another disappointment. X-ray is such a time-consuming check. I usually think, oh, you know, I should probably skip this. And then I think, oh, it's probably holding something important, like in the seed. So oh dear gets his smoky validation. Looks like Ddraig is making a stop at ice. Technically, it's not in logic since we haven't found speed yet. And it's more power bombs. Yes, pick those up. He hesitated. Looked like he was immediately like, nope, but decided yes, because you only have 5 power bombs. I'm sure Oh Dear will be making his way to Kraid, following in Ddraig's footsteps. And, okay, debating me a little bit there, going up, I was about to make a call of, oh no, I'm wrong. Ddraig's going to check the crumble missiles. And more power bombs. Ooh. I'd probably try to get those. It could end up being with you've got space jump, so most likely it wouldn't be a time-consuming check. But I'm sure you'll find another pack elsewhere that's safer to get also. High jump, holding a super missile at the E-tank location, and 2 more items to see. What's the top shelf? Another super missile, and Deidre is going to show us what's at high jump itself. Regular missiles. I'm sure right now they both want to see gravity, speed, and ice the most. The Croc escape item is super missiles. I almost said regulars. Oh dear, getting his screw attack. Screw attack is an immensely useful item, most specifically in Lower Warfare. In combination with space jump, it's going to make mini rooms a breeze. The cathedral item. What do we have? A nope tank. Has the Ddraig nopes out of picking it up. Oh dear, are you going to take Kraid to the dance today? Ddraig is going to check the frick ship. I'm mixing my plays up here. He's going to check the Norfair reserve items. Noping out of that missile. And what are the other 2 items? An E-tank and power bombs. I hope you grab both of those. If you don't find ice, yeah, there we go. If you don't find ice, you absolutely want that extra set of power bombs for 15 to deal with the Metroids. Oh dear, making his way out of the party zone with a really nice movement there. Getting through that door and checking the frog pocket. He as well looks disappointed in that. Once you have charge beam and 10, 15 missiles, I'm sure they're all going to be disappointed in finding regular missiles. Oh dear, following the same path has Ddraig going down to Upper Norfair. Can save yourself a little bit of time if you don't check X-ray, but I mean ice. Why am I thinking X-ray? Of course you can save time not checking X-ray, but it's useful, this seed. I was watching Oh dear and I missed both of those speed item checks, but since I didn't see an item fanfare on screen, I imagine they were just ammo. Looks like he's noping out of those high jump missiles as well. Grabbing an extra pack of supers though up there. That super missile right there, that item, whatever is there, is always hard to avoid if you go the top route to get out. Ddraig finding more energy at Wave. Meanwhile, Oh Dear is indeed going to check the Ice Beam location. If I remember correctly, it was Power Bombs. And of course, the Wave Missiles are bland, generic Wave Missiles today. Now, one of the movement items that these runners haven't been given is high jump boots. And you can see some of Ddraig's movement suffering just a small amount here and there, not being able to jump quite all the way up onto the platform. Finally, we get to see the Bubble Mountain missile check and its supers. Having 30 supers and all the important beams other than ice, I'm not surprised that he's skipping out on those. Are we going to see a Croc check? You might just be able to hit that Croc button, Smokey. Oh Dear checked the crumple missiles, saw power bombs, and decided they were not worth picking up. And he does have 15, so it's probably a fine call there. The crumple shaft in itself can be a little bit trolly to pick up the item and get out speedily. And Ddraig giving us a little bit of charged moonwalk. Having charged plasma means that usually one charge shot will make Crocmire walk all the way back. Croc holding an E-tank. Looked like Ddraig was thinking a moment for picking it up, but you at 7, you've got enough to do stand up. At 8, you've got enough to do stand up and take a few hits in Mother Brain. So I definitely would have picked it up. Oh Dear, making his way into Bubble Mountain. See what he's going to check first. He's also going to hit the Norfair Reserve location first. Looks like Ddraig is going to check the other items and behind Croc, so we're going to get to see a grapple check. We're going to get to see an Indiana Jones check. We're going to get to see the lava tide missile check, and the Croc PB check here in just a second. Oh Dear, picking up his items at the reserve. I don't blame him. Oh, Ddraig finds a gravity suit. Wow. Ice or speed, where are you at? So, for those fans of Croc, today is a good day. Hopefully after Oh Dear cleans out the Bubble Mountain stuff, he will also check Croc. And Indiana Jones was bland. Grapple, just regular missiles, unfortunately. As it stands, ice could be almost anywhere, except behind Batoon. So that means it can't be in Plasma, it can't be at Batoon, it can't be at the behind Dragon or at the Precious Missile location. And there is Ice Beam. If I were Ddraig, I would fill in go mode. I would go directly to Ridley. I would not pass go. I would not collect $200. I would just go directly to Ridley. Yes, indeed. Crocomire stacked today. Oh, I wasn't talking specifically about where we expect to find ice, but just how open the seed is now, it could be anywhere. And of course, as I said, it could be anywhere Ddraig finds it. Looks like, based on Ddraig's direction, he also is considering himself ready to go. You've got the full beams, you got more ammo than you would have in any percent, so you just don't have the high jump or the speed booster, but you can get around those. Oh dear, still working on cleaning out Bubble Mountain. I believe that is everything. He's already checked the Bubble Mountain missile room, so what's his next play? Looks like a safety save. I wonder if that means he might be trying a lava dive. I wouldn't recommend it in this seed, but we'll see. I may be right about that. Got a lot of energy. You can survive in that lava for quite a while with various. However, a high jumpless lava dive is very difficult. You're gonna have to take a hit from one of the Namahe flames. In order to have iframes to jump off of a Namahe face and spikes. He's got a great setup for this. Gets the jumps, gets the jumps. Oh, so close. That was really close. Meanwhile, Ddraig is working his way through the room called Wasteland. We'll see if he's gonna make any more item checks, and it looks like no. The Power Bombs of Shame location is a free few second cost check right there. So that tells me he's not interested in checking more items. He's in go mode. Oh dear, failed the... Oh, so close. Hard reset, okay. I wonder if he's going to try again, or if he's going to go look elsewhere. Unfortunately, this looks like it's Ddraig's race to lose right now. Unfortunately for O'Dear, that is. We do have Wave Beam. I was kind of hoping to see O'Dear maybe go through the Frog Speedway using the Wave Glitch. But he's going to give that Lava Dive another try. Meanwhile, Ddraig's taking on Ridley. He's got the usual beam combo that most people actually fight Ridley with, unless you run New Rail. So 20 charge shots, pretty easy. Plenty of health for this fight. Excuse me. Screw attack to help help dodge some damage through the tail and Ridley's body. This fight is about as easy as it could get. Which isn't to say that it's an easy fight, because Ridley can take a chunk of health off of you still. Oh dear, got the lava dive. Good job. That trick is difficult without high jump boots. It's difficult with high jump boots too, but... Oh, we are seeing a Ridley item check. What are we gonna find? Bombs. Ddraig noping out of that, and then deciding to go back for them. Bombs will be very handy in the Metroid rooms if you get grabbed. It's worth picking them up alone for that. Looks like we are going to see a screw attack check and maybe a GT check. Considering that you should expect to have gravity to get here, I don't think you can expect to find anything other than speed or ice there. And screw attack is just super missiles. We are getting a GT fight. Another mini-boss we don't get to see very often. One of the Chorizos. Quick, in chat, can someone tell me how many Chorizos there are in Super Metroid? We all know Golden Chorizo, obviously right here. You all know Bomb Chorizo, first mini-boss. Who else is there? Seeing some correct answers in chat. Yes, Dust Chorizo, a third one. You'll find him in Turian. The baby is already taking care of that one for you. So, GT items, disappointing. Not what O'Dear was hoping to find. No doubt he was hoping for ice or speed. I'm sure he would accept high jump at the same time, but probably hoping for ice or speed more. Ddraig doing some of the more simple checks on the way out. Probably hoping for speed booster or high jump boots. O'Dear making easy work of the pirates in worst room in the game, which is, you know, it's only the worst room in the game if you run low %. That's my opinion anyway. Will we see a rat check? And we will not. Ddraig going out the long way from Boba Mountain to escape Upper North Air, so must not know about the wave glitch to the speedway. No, Jargaboggle. The bowling statue is actually not a Chorizo, it's a Chozo. You can tell the difference because it helps you, not tries to stop you. The Chozos, or is the name for the group of species that help raise Samus, and the Chorizos are a different section of those who revolted against the Chozos. They had a civil war. That's why there's no alive Chozos here anymore. They're just statues now. So, oh dear, in the Metal Pirates room, but you have all the beams except for ice, so these should be pretty easy. Ddraig beelining it to Dragon. We'll still have to do Fantoon after, but is well in the lead at this point because of lucking out with the suit checks, betting on Croc. That made the difference here. And Ddraig in the Batoon room, having charged plus plasma beam makes this snake a lot easier. His hitboxes are known to be trolly. For each segment of his body has its own hitbox. And oftentimes, the way he spins and turns around causes one of the other hitboxes to move in front and stop you from getting the hitbox at the head. Ridley is down. Batoon is down. Odir is going to pick up his bombs here. Ddraig doing the Alcatraz maneuver to get up into that little bit of a little bit of a morph ball maze there, normally holding the Batoon E-Tank. Definitely easier to get through that way since you don't have speed. And you get to skip the missile at the same time. Will we get to see a Precious check? Will Ddraig check on Precious? Meanwhile, Odir will be escaping Lower Norfair. If I were him, I'd be checking some of the items on the way, but not too many. Because he knows gravity is the big thing he needs, and he knows it can't be down here. We don't have X-ray, and we don't have grapples, so we're not going to see microwaved or electrocuted shrimp today. We don't have speed booster either, so we will not be seeing any mashed shrimp, which would be the speed booster kills. Looks like there's an issue with the tracker, maybe? I know when I've been tracking before, I tried to type in the chat, ended up the window was on the tracker and I cleared it all while trying to type. No worries, Smokey. And looks like Dragon was holding an E-Tank. Ddraig did check the Precious before going down, but I didn't get a good enough look at it to see what it was. I'm sure someone in chat did, and I'm sure one of you are probably already typing it out to me right now, right? Right, chat? Looks like Odir is not checking the Spring Ball Maze or the gel item. So probably skip this Three Musketeer item as well. Yes. Ddraig just has to get to Fantoon now, and his Golden 4 is over. Hopefully Odir will check Croc, otherwise he's going to have a hard time finding gravity. He did a gravityless Lower Norfair, so obviously he's got a good bit of skill and confidence. He could probably do a suitless Meridia, but I'm pretty sure he's going to need ice or high jump and grapple for that. No one has been to Wreck Ship yet, so ice could be there. Ice could be in any location in Meridia practically, because we've only seen 3, 4 item locations in Meridia. Wait, okay, I see on the tracker that Ddraig has ice. Where did we find ice? Oh, yes, thank you for the reminder, Smokey. It was behind Croc, so That won't be an issue. Okay. So Oh Dear is going to have to go to Croc. You won't be able to use speed to get to Bottoon if you don't have gravity. And with ice and gravity both back there, well, you're gonna have to find Croc. Well, even if Oh Dear planned to Crystal Flash Clip, I'm not sure if that's possible without gravity, because you won't be able to bounce and get up through the way you do with the normal Crystal Flash Clip. Looks like he's gonna go to Wreck Ship. Trying his best to get that shooting the block out while also space jumping up. That is really a difficult trick to do, and even more difficult without high jump boots. Asder pointing out in chat that it is indeed possible to Crystal Flash Clip to Bottoon without gravity. That's good to know. Oh Dear making his upper red tower checks. Not finding anything he wants. It's possible that if he checks Wreck Ship, he will find speed, because we don't know where that's at yet. But it still won't be everything he needs, because we know where the other items are. And that is the last boss down for Ddraig. I expect to see him beeline the Golden Forward room. And with this beam combo with the ammo, he's good to go. So it's going to take a major setback at this point to cost Ddraig the race. And now anything can happen in Super Metroid. Stand up is a likely place. You know, I'm not very familiar with Ddraig. Based on his movement and what I've seen so far, he's probably going to pull it off just fine if he does pull off stand up. But that is still a place, and I've seen some of the best runners mess up stand up glitch and lose a race completely to that. Don't want to name names, and I don't want to cast or curse, you know. He seems very capable. I don't think anything's wrong's going to happen. So, Oh Dear, making his way down, he's going to check what I call the poppy missiles. I like to call it that because Poplars, being a friend of mine, and in their splits, they called it some ridiculous name like Missiles Before a Green Down Door. Ddraig heading into Turian here. You've got ice, you've got regular bombs, you've got plenty of ammo. These Metroid rooms are going to be a breeze. Oh Dear's Phantoon fight's going to be just as easy as Ddraig was. He's only missing the ice beam to make any difference, and I believe that might actually make it possible to 2-round Phantoon with 2 missiles plus a charge shot if you have ice. Sorry, 2 missiles, and then a charge shot. Oh dear, having a little bit of trouble with it. Looked like those flames bounced him just out of alignment while shooting those missiles into Fantoon. Ddraig about to there goes Dust Chorizo. Ddraig's now entering the baby room. So it looks like Odier's probably going to start clearing Rhett's ship, looking for those items that we know are at Croc. Let's see. We're gonna have a right side supers check. For anyone who didn't see the earlier half of the race, Odier made a few different checks early on that seemed a little unconventional to me, checking the moat and the ocean item, going out of the way to do so, and then continuing. Other than that, these runners made the same choices all the way up until Upper Norfair. They cleared out Bubble Mountain, and then Ddraig ran into Croc, and that's where we found gravity and ice, which put Ddraig in go mode. However, Odier did not go check Croc, and he did a high jumpless lava dive, which is a really tough trick. So kudos for that. Get some swag points. However, it looks like it's going to cost you the race. I'm sure if I were in his shoes, I would be watching that SRL chat any moment for the dot done. Once he finds what it is, he's oh, I know he's going to feel really behind, but he's probably going to see the dot done before he finds them. These wreck ship checks can take a long time. Well, Smokey, they may have both Smokey validated, and that may be a win, but that is not enough for for this tournament. Well, we find Grapple at the Addicts location of wrecked ship. Even if we're going to see a suitless Meridia, he would still need ice and high jump. Well, you have Spring Ball, so you may not technically need high jump to do a suitless Meridia. We are going to see the reserve location check, while Dark Grid is... My apologies. Ddraig is entering Mother Brain 3. Doesn't look like he attempted to go for stand-up at all, which is a safe bet. Also means it's not possible for me to have cast her curse, since I said things about, Mother Brain stand-up glitch. Some things could go wrong. The Sky Missiles are supers. And the Above Ocean also supers. And a sad moment for Super Metroid. The baby dies. Spoiler alert. We are going to see the bowling here. Bowling is often a time you can drop the controller for half a minute. You can stretch and crack your finger knuckles out, stretch your back, take a drink of water, get up and move around a little bit if you need to. I do believe it's 30-ish seconds long. And then the Mother Brain 2 cutscene is 90. Ddraig showing us how to do the escape without speed. I'm not familiar with either of these runners enough to know if they'll save the animals, but I imagine Ddraig will not, considering you haven't seen a dot done or a dot forfeit. And there's high jump at the gravity location. So looks like O'Dear is going back in to check the wreck ship e-take location. Ddraig having to do a lot of extra wall jumps here, not having speed or high jump, really slows down the movement here in the escape rooms. Oh dear, getting through the spiky room of death rather easily. Ddraig not saving the animals. Looks like he is finished with an official SRL time of 55 minutes and 46 seconds. GG, Ddraig. That is his second win, so he will advance to round 3. His next opponent hasn't been decided yet. It will either be Benergetic or myself, Starisms. Benergetic may be able to decide that tomorrow, but I'm hoping to pull it to a game 3. We'll find out. O'Dear has run out of item locations to check, so he'll probably want to. At this point, you gotta start thinking about Croc. Let's see, where will O'Dear be heading to? Probably down Red Tower by this point. Looking through the challenge page now. Let's see. Hopefully I can find if we know who O'Dear's next opponent will be in the redemption bracket. So it looks like we will not be getting Ddraig in for an interview. These interviews are nice to do, but no one is obligated to do them. I hope everyone feels completely okay in turning them down if you don't want to pop on stream and ask questions or wonder what you were thinking some places. Hopefully O'Dear is making his way to Croc. There's a very small handful of items he hasn't checked. Hopefully he's not going to. Okay, yes, he's not going to try to do a suitless Meridia because you don't have Ice Beam. That would make it a lot more difficult. Oh, is he debating me? Is he going to do suitless? Snake, thank you for donating for the 1,000 bits to Speedrunners Arena. So the spoiler log here is a little bit small for me, but it looks like Speed Booster was in Meridia, one of the sand pits. Looks like it's at right sand pit according to chat. Okay. Oh, that's a trolley location for Speed, and that's where it was in my race versus Benergetic yesterday. Well, I'm going to take a moment here to remind you to follow both of these runners. You know, they've put on a really good race here. There's going to be more to come. They're both highly skilled and deserve, a follow from anyone who's interested in Super Metroid. I'm not sure if they only stream Super Metroid or other things, but you should still follow them. Be sure to give Smokey a follow. She's done a good job on tracking today, except for a small technical issue that popped up for some reason. I'm going to blame Darkrid. But give Darkrid a follow too. He's doing a lot of work to restream and get people set up in tournaments and things out, tournament matches, behind the scenes sort of stuff. Pretty sure he's also got a few matches left in this tournament. So I wonder if Odir is going to show us that you can Crystal Flash Clip, as Esther pointed out, without Gravity Suit. Or will he be checking the Mama tutorial? No, looks like he's checking out of Meridian. This has to be frustrating. The last things that you want to check, the things you put off for the longest time, holding the progression you need. I'm sure we've all been there in one seat or another. We can all relate to that sense of frustration. Making his way down the business center. Going to check the Croc escape item. Not what he's looking for. But once he does find the items he's looking for, we're still likely to see him go through the Croc escape. Congratulations on your win, Ddraig. So I'm not sure if you were in chat or had the stream up at the time, but Ddraig, but it looks like your next opponent will either be Benergetic or myself. So, oh dear, when you watch this back, you'll know it's Darkrid who rolled the seed. Got it there in chat. You know who to blame. Here we go. Oh dear, going into his Croc fight. Charge Plasma, making this a moonwalk. Instead of a cakewalk. Get it? Moonwalk, yeah. Okay. Laugh, chat, laugh, haha. Doing a little bit of tickling, showing I guess some graphical glitches here with the grapple beam on Croc. I have not seen that before. That was very interesting. Deciding not to pick up the Crocky tank. Taunting Croc a little bit as Croc falls into the lava. So that's a little mean, oh dear. It's a little mean. So this was a seed where we got on both sides to check off the Croc visit button. Unfortunately for Odeer, it's only because he has to check it. And he is going to be a little upset about that, I'm sure. But now probably considers himself in go mode. Will he go down? Will he get ice? Yes. Nope. Yes. Maybe? Okay, he's going down. So I expect he'll find ice. And then just nope out of the rest of the checks. Croc holding all of the go mode items this seed. Get to see, looks like on Ddraig's side some Kaizo. So is this a Super Metroid Kaizo crossover? That would be a terrifying crossover. I would not play that one. Oh dear, making his way out the Croc escape. Going to beeline to Ddraig, no doubt. So if it was a crossover, the problem is you have SM has abbreviations for Super Metroid and has part of the abbreviation for Super Mario World. So how many SMs would you put in that abbreviation? Oh dear. Getting into Meridian now. Ddraig having some trouble getting through this Kaizo level of his, but that Dolphin not giving him any room to jump. Oh dear, not checking the sand pits, where we now know speed is. Don't blame him. He's going to Ice Clip into Botwoon. This Ice Clip is a fairly simple clip as far as the Ice Clips go. As long as you know to crouch, you pull that Metroid over, and you crouch to hold both angles to shoot up. That's the important part. Angling straight up while crouched. You freeze the Moxroid, then you can just jump, and you'll glitch Samus through those crumble blocks. Made short work of Botwoon. Grabbing the missile has a side effect of having to go through the tunnel above the sand pit. No speed booster means no halfie or full halfie today, but having space jump makes the Colosseum very easy anyway. Without high jump boots, getting either the halfie or full halfie would be nearly impossible. Well, getting the full halfie, I don't think he could do without high jump boots. The timing on that's way too tight. Getting the halfie, maybe. Will we get to see a grapple kill today? Setting up a good charge shot. Too bad you don't have X-ray, oh dear. And I believe that's a goop phase coming. Yes, he's setting up for grapple. Oh, just barely. I couldn't see what caused it. But Dragon suddenly going up usually means you broke the goop. Setting up again. And deciding not to try to go for the quick grapple this time and just let it happen. So the grapple beam's not quite long enough to reach either of these electrical fields from the destroyed turrets on the bottom side of the room, but they are on the top side because Dragon starts swinging out in a wider and wider arc. Looks like he's going to check what Dragon's item was, and it's just an E-tank. Checking on the Precious, and its power bombs. So I expect Odir is going to beeline to the Golden Four and take care of Mother Brain. He also has Ice Beam now for the Metroid rooms, so they should be very easy. He has regular bombs if he gets grabbed, and plenty of power bombs if he decides to do a grouping power bomb trap. Oh, I'm not sure why Odir is going out this direction. I believe it would have been faster to go back through Botchwoon's room or Aqueduct, and maybe because of the difficulty getting through the Botchwoon E-tank room. Going out the underside of Meridia here makes that he has to climb up Red Tower instead of up Mount Everest. Deciding to go back into Meridia to go up. Probably the faster route here. Looking at the schedule, it looks like our next match today is at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That is in the is match 2 of Phoenix Down 23 versus Obsolete. And that is from the Redemption bracket. And then the next races after that start tomorrow at 11 a.m. We have Zeb 316 versus Tracy M. Round 1, match 2. I didn't get to catch the first one, all of the first one. Maybe someone in chat can tell me who won that one between Tracy M and Zeb 316. Then at 2 p.m. tomorrow, we have also from the Redemption bracket, Mr. 1982 versus Glacio Souza. Mr. also known as Snarled Snake 1982 on Twitch. Smokey informing me that Zeb won the first match between Zeb and Tracy M. Hopefully Tracy can pull out a win and take it to game 3. Oh dear, almost to the Golden 4 room. One of the perks of using the Varia randomizer is that if you've defeated all of the bosses for the Golden 4, that when you reach the Golden 4 room, it's already the animation's already over. You don't have to wait for it. And if you didn't see the start and you're not familiar with these, another perk of the randomizer is we don't have to do the Cirrus escape. So we get to start directly on the planet. Continuing on the races tomorrow, it looks like Mr. and Glacia are planning to do their first 2 matches back to back. Again, that's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then at 5 p.m. Eastern also, we have, looks like 2 different races at the same time. So you might get a 4-way match. That'll be pretty great. Amadeus Zeno versus Travic Talks, and myself versus Benergetic. Ooh, if that happens, I will be glad I don't have to beat Travitox to win. Benergetic's a tough enough opponent as is. Oh dear, just running right past the dust chorizo. The baby's already made short work of it. I'm hoping we'll see Oh dear save the animals. You know, at this point, if I've seen my opponent done and I know people are watching and cheering me on, I'm gonna save the animals. But I'm not familiar with Oh dear. I don't know if he does save the animals on occasion or not, or how he feels about that. That's a saving versus not saving the animals sometimes can really divide a group of people. Got a full beam combo, tons of ammo. These Mother Brain fights will be very short work. Trunifor, I absolutely do not support taunting the animals. No, under no circumstances is that okay. Thank you, Smokey. That'll be sweet. Whenever Super Metroid's in a charity marathon, such as uh, Power Up with Pride and or GDQ or the such, that it's very common that there's a save versus kill the animals incentive, which is at the very end, people saving the animals or skipping out on saving the animals. And I understand has a speedrunner marathon, a lot of people want to do the speedier thing. But it's also for a charity marathon. And usually these charity marathons go to things that literally help save lives. Such as, the cancer awareness stuff with GDQ or the trans lifeline stuff with Power of Pride. And so I always feel like because those charities save lives, they need to donate more to save the animals. Now, I know Darkred bringing up Fusion in chat, and I'm not very familiar with Fusion, but I know it's a lot of reason there's a lot of people who don't like Fusion and say they don't want Fusion to be canon, and that's why they don't save the animals. News for you: you can't blame the animals for something they haven't done in this timeline of Super Metroid. Sam, at this point in time with Super Metroid, Samus has no idea what's going to happen. But that Decora and those Edacoons, they teach you how to escape these inescapable rooms. They teach you to wall jump, they teach you to shine spark. And without those tricks, getting through this would be much more difficult. And with having those save rooms at those same locations, rather. So like when you fall into the Edacoon pit, if you end up saving it while down there, you can't get out any other way than learning to wall jump or learning to shine spark, depending on which animal location it is. I always thought that those save rooms were a bit trolly. But on the other hand, it's really important that they're there because if you haven't saved in an hour and you found some things you don't want to reset, you probably want to save and give it a go at another point. I know I had a lot of trouble with the wall jumps when I was a lot younger. Wall jumps for Super Metroid things because they're so counterintuitive. Most games for its time, and most games even today, if it wants you to wall jump, there's two methods you commonly see. There's the method where you press away from the wall and jump at the same time. And then there's the method where, like Mega Man, where you cling to the wall and just jump while being up against the wall, like pushing towards it. But in Super Metroid, it's different. You have to press away from the wall, wait a moment for that animation frame to change, and then get your jump in. And the window is pretty tight. It's unforgiving. Oh dear, showing us the last moonfall of the game in this escape room. Also, not having speed just like Ddraig, so he's going out the slow way. However, he's got high jump, so this will be a little bit faster. Looks like he pulled off the Alcatraz there while doing the wall jumps and morphing. So the reason we call that the Alcatraz is because it's most frequently used right here on that little spot you just saw. Oh dear, tried to fake us out at. Okay, so it looks like Oh dear is finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 58 seconds. GG, oh dear. So it looks like we're gonna get an to bring oh dear in and ask a few questions about this seed. If anyone in chat has some good questions, type them out. Maybe we'll get oh dear to answer them while we're here. Obviously, gonna have to ask him about how frustrating it was to having to bet on Croc and him choosing not to bet on Croc. Looks like we're joined with oh dear now.
Hello.
GG.
Thank you.
How do you feel about that seed after running it?
I think this is how these seeds normally go with my kind of routing, ignoring all the logic. I'm not too surprised it went like this.
Well, you did get some swag points doing a high jumpless lava dive.
Yeah, at least that. I'm proud that at least it worked in the second attempt.
Yeah, well, that's a really tough trick. So, having to try it again, I don't fault you for that.
Yeah, actually it might have might have bitten me in the bum because I had in my mind if I fail it the second time I'm just gonna go to Croc. Well,
Oh, I think
well,
I think at that point, it would have definitely got you finished sooner. But I think at that point, going to Croc, you would have still been behind Ddraig a good bit
yeah.
there.
Probably. Like I wasted a bit of time in the beginning where I didn't exactly know where I wanted to go because I had considered going like clearing wreck chip, or well, as much as I could right away
Hmm.
with that one E-tank. Then I got scared of Ventoon and reconsidered.
I don't blame you, especially on one E tank.
Yeah, yeah, it would
So,
have been doable, but it's never it's like you don't feel good while doing it if you haven't practiced it enough.
mhm.
So I just noped out.
Well, obviously, not going to Rick Ship really was a good call, but not checking Croc was the wrong call, unfortunately. Up
Yeah,
until like in the early game where you went to the right and checked the moat and made a few in the ocean, Ddraig did not check that. And
yeah,
so from there on, though, you were just following in behind Ddraig, doing the same checks, the same routing, almost like maybe I think at Bubble Mountain you started diverging a little bit, and then after leaving Bubble Mountain is where you both really diverged.
yeah. Like I always route my Bubble Mountain in a way that I have Wave Beam last, so if I find something that makes Lower North a bit easier, I can just go down from there.
Mm.
That's always my thought behind that routing, but that didn't really work out this time.
Yeah, when I saw you go down after the wave location, I was getting hype in chat for seeing a lava dive, a high jumpless lava dive.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. At that point, I always try to go Crate, Ridley, Ddraig, and Fantoon as a boss
Mhm.
order whenever possible. In this case, it just didn't work out time wise because the investment was just too big and the items weren't there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just unlucky for my kind of routing. I guess that's it. It had to go this way. There was no way I would have routed that much differently, I guess. One
Well,
mistake I want to point out myself was like checking Golden Torizo. For some reason, I completely forgot that nothing could have been there that could have helped me. So that was completely unnecessary.
yeah, when you went to check on Teresa, we figured that you were looking for either ice or high jump or speed booster.
Yeah, those were the three ones that could have been there.
Hmm.
But I was completely on the wrong path because I was actually looking for gravity, which can never be in Lone Warfare. So
Yeah,
I realized that during the fight, and I face palmed.
Oh, well,
And yeah,
I mentioned it that, even though you did get off the lava dive, and that again, kudos 5 points for that because that's a really hard trick. But I did mention that, the logic will never let gravity be there,
yeah.
and but but I figured, "Oh, no, he's gotta know that at this point." And so it's gotta be ice and it's gotta be speed booster that are
Yeah.
the top picks on his mind to find over there.
I mean, I realized at least early on during the fight, so I didn't check anything else in Lone Warfare, I think, except for Power Bombs of Shame, because I was short on super missiles, I think. No, I checked them on the way back, actually. I don't
Mhm.
remember when I checked them. I was short on some kind of ammo, and I wanted to check that. So that was like one check, and then after Ridley, you're already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I ignored everything else because at that point I realized, whoops, I should probably not checking things down here.
Well, I was hoping you would still check because ice or speed could be in some of those locations.
Yeah,
And
but
at that point, we hadn't seen, speed booster. We had seen
yeah,
ice on Ddraig's side.
I mean, you kind of want to find those items on your general path, and
Yeah,
then if you can't find them, then start looking. Of course, going back to Lone Warfare would have been terrible, but I tend to avoid those kinds of item checks.
yeah. Yeah, well, I can understand thinking it's probably a safe call to skip, but some of those items like the gel and the spring ball maze item, those
Yeah,
are right there, you could check those pretty
that's
easy,
true.
but
Yeah,
but again,
yeah,
you knew they couldn't be what you needed, which was gravity.
yeah. I mean, yeah, at that point, I would have. I was betting on like not both ice and speed being in Lone Warfare. That would have been the only way I would have to go back eventually. So I was
Yeah,
just betting on finding one of the two somewhere else because one of them was the only thing I needed at that point, and gravity, of course.
odds were in your favor, but the whole time when we saw you starting to go up to wreck ship, I was just thinking, "Oh, no, because 'cause you're not gonna find what you need up there."
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's unlucky.
we had seen ice and gravity. We hadn't seen Ddraig did not get speed, so we never saw where that was until the spoiler log came up, and that's at Right Sandpit in Meridia,
Yeah,
which is
it's
kind of a trolly
something.
location.
It's something that's a place that like mainly the randomizer league people rarely will check in, even in these SMRAT races.
In my race yesterday versus Benergetic, it was one of the last places I had to check to find progression, and I was going into Meridia hoping to find that or ice to be able to continue, and I found it right before
Ah,
Batoon.
yeah, I mean it makes sense to like push back those big loop around checks as long as
Mhm.
possible.
Was there anything else about this siege you'd like to say, or anything you'd like to say in general?
Uh, I seem to be getting seeds without speed booster, and speed booster is my favorite item, so it's always a bit
Oh,
tough for me to, especially if I like lose like this one early on, and I know I have like half an hour more to go without speed. Where's my fun here? Because you can do so much cool tricks with speed booster, which I then couldn't
yeah.
do. Like even if it's just to show off some silly stuff for the people.
Well, again, GG on your race.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
wasn't able to find out who your next opponent is yet. This challenge page is a little bit hard to find it, but
Wasn't it you or Benergetic?
um,
I thought it was the loser
I,
of
s- I,
your
s-
match.
I well, if it is, then I might be facing you sooner than later.
I thought I read that.
I have match
Oh,
two versus Ben tomorrow, and he's already won the first match, so we'll see. See,
we will see. Then
yeah,
maybe until very soon.
I'm gonna look for it again real quick. Okay, mine is match 50, yours is 49, and let's see. There we are. No, that's 48 and 9, not 49 or 50.
Hmm.
I have some vision issues, so I just may not be. I may just be overlooking it, or it may not be listed in here somewhere. Um, I'm sure it's there. I'm sure I'm just overlooking it,
It
and
probably is.
so we'll figure it out. But GG again to both you and Ddraig.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Okay, Ddraig sees it in chat. He says that whoever loses between me and Ben will
Oh yeah,
face
I see it
Nether
as well.
Mitts.
Yeah, and then would be me.
Okay, so I still might face off against you, but I've got my work cut out for me to get to that point. I mean,
Yeah, good luck
I'm
with that.
probably going to get sent to the losers bracket by Ben tomorrow. But if I don't, then good luck on Ben getting there and you facing Ben. But in either case, good luck in
Yeah,
your
but
future.
better get that match on the get it over with quickly because Ben is getting better as we speak.
Yeah, I've seen some of his VODs, and I feel like we're very close in skill level, but he's just a little bit better, and so I can still win.
It's
I'm
random.
confident I can still win,
It's random.
but
Everyone can win.
yeah. Alrighty. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start closing it off. Is there anything you'd like to say before we do?
Thanks for the commentary. Thanks, Darkred, for the restream. And
I
I
had
hope
fun.
everyone had fun.
Alrighty, just a reminder about the next few races. We have, see, at 9 o'clock tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, we have Phoenix Down 23 versus Obsolete. This is match two. They're in their redemption bracket. Starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we have Zeb 316 versus Tracy M. That is also match two, but it is not in the redemption bracket. Going back to the redemption bracket tomorrow, we have at 2 p.m. Mr. versus Glossio Souza. That's Mr. 1982 on Challenge and Solid Snake 1982 on Twitch. That is the redemption bracket. They plan to. It looks like they're planning to race their first two matches back to back. Then at 5 p.m. tomorrow, we have Amadeus Zeno versus Travatox and Starisms versus Benergetic at the same time. So good luck on all the races tomorrow, everyone. Thanks everyone for showing up. Make sure to give those runners a follow and give Darkrid a follow. He's not only running in the tournament, he's doing a lot of work behind the scenes and the restreams and the commentaries, etc. So I guess that will be that. Good evening, everyone, and see you next mission.